Shoot 'em up, never ask questions, leave 'em dead. Shoot 'em up, never ask questions, leave 'em dead. Shoot 'em up, never ask.
All right, so Andrade was officially released shortly after Fastlane, and that led to a lot of weird, really, really weird reactions. Some people truly lost their minds. So, for starters, Andrade asked for this. He said he wanted to be released. He then confirmed it online that he wanted to be released, and then they released him. I mean, it was pretty simple. There's also a lot of stuff going on with Charlotte, some chicanery with Charlotte, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But first, I want to talk about Andrade. So I made a video before about whether Andrade leaving was a big deal or not, and I said no, it's not, because Andrade was not positioned as being a top guy. Doesn't mean he didn't have the potential, just means he didn't have the position. And because he didn't have the position, I don't see why anyone cares. See, the thing is, if you're not positioned as a top guy in the WWE, it's not a loss that they released you or that you're sitting on the bench or doing anything. You could have all the potential and all the talent in the world, but if the fans don't believe you have any potential or any talent, then it doesn't matter. And people on the internet think everybody's great. You know, they actually are still caping for people like Will Ospreay. You know, I don't want to get into that though. In any event, Andrade was a great performer, carried himself very well. He looked great. Only problem is he couldn't speak English. He'll probably light it up wherever he goes. Look forward to the guy showing up in Ring of Honor or something like that, hopefully in Ring of Honor, and being able to hang out with his friends, Roosh and Dragon Lee, and doing the La Facción Ingobernables thing there. That ought to be fun. That ought to be great. So that's cool. The reactions, though. So there's two major reactions I've seen. The one major reaction I've seen is people blaming Thea Trinidad, aka Zelina Vega, for Andrade's career going kind of left. It's not her fault. For starters, the thing with Andrade was going downhill before she even got fired. The Andrade Zelina thing really started going left because Zelina was the one that WWE wanted to push. You know, she was the one who could talk. You know, she was the one who had the attitude. She was the one that they really wanted to go with. Now, it's unfortunate, but sometimes WWE is like that. You know, I've seen people say, well, you know, it's a situation much like Sable and Mark Merrow, much like Melina and Morrison, much like Skip and Sonny. Sometimes you'll have a woman outside the ring that is more interesting than a man in the ring. Lana and Rusev. They do this. Sometimes they choose the woman over the man. You know, sometimes they just let the guy go, no matter how much potential or talent he might have, because the woman is more interesting. In this situation, they probably felt like Zelina Vega was more interesting, and then started to branch her out on her own. And then she did whatever she did. She ruined her own career. But Andrade just could not do the English thing. So people are blaming her. I just think that that's really strange. It's not her fault, you know. She was his voice because he couldn't speak English. If, you know, that's not her fault. That was just, you know, a door open for her to be able to go out there and showcase what she can do. And she did a good job. You know, she did a really good job. And Andrade just had to do the wrestling portion, which is what he's really good at. But I wouldn't blame her because his career got off to the wrong track. I blame her for Aleister Black's career going off track because that's her actual husband. Likewise, what's going on with Charlotte? Before we get really into the crazy thing, the craziest David Bixen fan losing his mind on Twitter, let's talk about this situation when you have Charlotte. So Charlotte has started being removed from the posters for WrestleMania, which is, of course, intimating that she won't be there. I find it very hard to believe that she won't be there. But it's strange that now they're saying, okay, Rhea Ripley will show up on Raw. This is being recorded before Raw. Actually, will be released before Raw too. So, what is going on with Charlotte? Will Charlotte be at WrestleMania? Or what's going on here? Now, going backwards, we understand that Charlotte perhaps pitched something for Andrade that didn't work out. And then, of course, things get a little bit ugly and he wants to leave. So now the question is, how does that affect her career? Well, the thing is, it only affects her career if she wants it to. Charlotte is clearly somebody WWE wants to do something with. She's not like Aleister Black or Sonny or some of the other guys who might have been attached to women that they would rather push. In this situation, Andrade was attached to Charlotte, and they would rather push Charlotte than Andrade. They have no interest in Andrade because he couldn't speak English or whatever. Or maybe he had a bad attitude. Who knows? It could have been anything. We don't know the deep recesses of any of this. So we just gonna have to go through going base level. Base level is he just couldn't speak English, and that's just what it is. So ultimately, it's not a situation where they don't want Charlotte. If Charlotte doesn't perform at WrestleMania, it's because she doesn't want to. So that means that she probably will take it personally. Right thing, wrong thing. I don't know. I personally don't think that it's. I've seen guys do it. There's been multiple guys who have sat at home or requested their release because their wife got fired. Jerry Lawler did it. Lashley did it. His first run, he quit because they fired Crystal Marshall, who I think he was married to or dating at the time. Several guys have done it, and it's usually a regular thing with WWE. Is you fire the woman, the guy gets in a huff and he leaves too, or vice versa. You fire the wife and the husband gets in a huff, or I just said that. But, very rarely do you fire the husband and the wife leaves too. Very, very, very rarely. It has not happened thus far. When they fired Chris Candido, Sonny didn't leave. When they fired Mark Merrow, Sable didn't leave. I think they might have been divorced at the time. But, but whenever the man, is in the prized position and his wife or girlfriend or whatever gets fired, he ends up leaving too. So it's a weird situation that they got there. Like, Lana didn't leave just because Rusev left, but I guarantee you if they'd have fired Lana, Rusev would have left too. And that's kind of a weird situation. So it's not a situation where Charlotte, is going to be in limbo because Andrade got her in some hot water. I doubt that. Charlotte is the golden child. If it probably cost them nothing. If Charlotte doesn't want to be at WrestleMania, she won't be there. She's saying like, hey, we're done here, or I'm just not going to show up because this thing with Andrade has gotten personal or whatever. Then she won't be there. It's not a situation where Vince doesn't want Charlotte there because of Andrade. That's not likely at all. The sexual dynamics in the wrestling business is usually the woman is favored over the man anyway, especially in WWE. So let's talk about David Bixenspan. So this nut, I'm going to say his name because it's very important that you understand what kind of people are thinking like this out here in this world. So Andrade is released. And then David Bixenspan tweets out, "Good for him. May he go to a company that doesn't punish him for being in a relationship with the love of his life because of the promoter's weird psychosexual obsession with certain female performers and how they shouldn't be in relationships with quote-unquote guys like that." You have to be galaxy-brained, absolutely Professor Xavier to be able to read people's minds this way. That's the first thing. The second thing is, where did he get his psychology degree? If you don't have mutant mind reading powers, then you have at least got a psychology degree. But he apparently doesn't have that either. So where does this come from? Is he calling Vince a racist? And that because this is a mixed race couple, then apparently this is a problem. Because this didn't seem to be a problem before. I mean, Andrade and Charlotte has been together numerous times. They've been together even when Andrade was being pushed. When he was the U.S. champion, they were together. So did it like Vince just wake up one day and, wait a minute, Charlotte's dating a Mexican? And it's like, no, I sincerely doubt that was the issue. Especially since it's not really hurting Bray Wyatt's career to be hanging out with this mixed chick. So this doesn't make any sense. Now I've seen a lot of people, they've kind of leaned back on the whole, well, Vince does have, a problem with certain people and their relationships. And I say, well, sometimes in these relationships, let's put it like this, the husband or the wife gets heat on the spouse, And in every situation that I've heard, I've listened to a lot of backstage segments, especially about the Morrison and Melina things that people keep bringing up. Oh, remember when Vince didn't think Morrison should be with Melina or whatever? And I was like, that was a situation where Vince was trying to really push Melina, and she was getting Morrison a lot of heat, and she was just doing weird shit. And she did, end up fucking around on Morrison. So that's really what that got to do with Vince. Like, that's what I want to know. Like, it wasn't a situation that he created. Just like, Sonny ended up fucking around on Chris Candido. It wasn't a situation that they created. Are you not supposed to put people on TV? Like, I don't understand. Like, when people have this idea that, like the whole Lana and Rusev and Lashley thing, they were like, they're trying to break up Lana and Rusev by putting him with Lashley on TV. I'm like, what? If that's the case, then Hollywood must be trying. It's just Hollywood stuff. That's all it is. People are overthinking it. In Hollywood, you do love scenes with other people. Sometimes you get the wrong idea. Sometimes shit goes too far, for sure. But when you're in the entertainment business, that's the kind of stuff you would be asked to do. You would be asked to do, play the wife of or the husband of somebody who is not your real wife or husband. And it's weird. It can be weird, sure, but it's not out of the ordinary. So wrestling fans who really get the wrong, just that brain worm where they get like, they're trying to break them up. It's like, that's a conspiracy theory. Okay, relax. They're not trying to break them up. They're trying to do drama. They're doing soap opera shit, because that's 99% of what it is. It's soap opera shit. Knowing these two characters are dating or something like that, it's just something that they're playing with. It's a chord that they can pull on. That's it. Most people don't care or don't know that much about it. But ultimately, it's a conspiracy theory. And you have David Bixenspan not only mind reading, but this is Alex Jones level, I'm a gorilla, conspiracy theory level stuff here. And I don't know what he was. I heard he deleted this tweet, which probably the right decision. Probably the right decision. But stop it. They're not trying to break people up. And you can only be broken up if you want to be broken up. And you partner with somebody all you want, but that obviously it doesn't work. Like, you can put two people together for 10 years and nothing will ever happen. So if nothing is there, nothing is there. I don't think sexuality isn't like, you put Barbie and Ken in the same car, all of a sudden they've got kids. That's not how the real world works. That's not how human beings, the guys and the girls have to actually like each other for that to actually work, So if they don't like each other for real, you're not going to be able to create sexual chemistry off camera with these people. So it doesn't work that way. And then the only other thing that you can think of is that people expect, I don't know, for you to go full Randy Savage and lock your wife in the dressing room, where it's like, you can't do that either. If she's in the business, man, she's fair game. If she's fair game as far as as character is concerned. Let's put it like that. As far as the character is concerned, she can be knocked down, she can be attacked, she can be teased, she can seduce, she can do stuff like that. There's a lot of different things that you can do with female performers and male performers and relationships, and they choose to do them. There is nothing strange about it at all. And I think that wrestling fans, apparently, when it comes to movies, like when you watch a movie and you see a woman in a movie, do you imagine like she must be single if she's doing a sex scene in a movie? It's like, no. A lot of those women are married or they have boyfriends or stuff like that. Hell, the strangest thing, and I'm going to take it there, a lot of porn stars are like married and stuff, and they do scenes with other people. So if porn stars can do it, I wouldn't suggest going that far, but if porn stars can go out, have sex with strange guys for money, and still be married, and still be in a relationship, and still be fine, then a wrestler should be able to brush up against another wrestler in a scene on television without people, sparks flying out of people's brains and thinking that they're trying to throw a monkey wrench in their relationship. That's not how the world works. It's just not realistic. Stop being stupid. This is pure stupidity. Okay, it's just purely stupid. But I don't really suggest that men and women work together, especially if they're husband and wife, because there is that idea of you're going to take it personally, and it's happened so many times in WWE that a real life husband and wife, real life boyfriend and girlfriend work together. What happens to one happens to the other because there's no way to separate the two. And just like when Lana was going through tables, people were like, it's because Rusev was going to AEW. It's like, really? You think so? These things are not always attached, Now, they did fuck up the whole Lana story, so I shouldn't go too far with that. But ultimately, these things are not necessarily attached. You do things with characters because you think that the characters are interesting. Or if you think a character is not interesting, you take them off TV. Ultimately, I mean, what was he trying to do? They was trying to force Vicky Guerrero to fuck Edge. That's why they was on screen kissing so much. Because Vince thought Vicky Guerrero and Edge, what a perfect relationship. No, that's dumb. All right, so Andrade, hopefully he's going to land on his feet. Guy's very talented, great guy. Hopefully, he gets snatched up. I want him to really be happy. Maybe the AEW would throw a truckload of cash at him to come in, and it could be Death Square, Death Rectangle, or something like that. And maybe that'll happen. I think he's probably more likely to go hang out with his homeboys in Ring of Honor, or maybe go back to New Japan. Who knows? But he's going to land on his feet. Guy's going to be fine. The question is going to be whether he's able to pull Charlotte out with him. Is Charlotte going to leave too? Now, if Charlotte leaves, I definitely think that you're probably looking at more of an AEW run because there's no real women's division in Ring of Honor. But that's up to Charlotte. The ball is in her court. I'm pretty sure WWE is not going to punish, quote unquote, punish Charlotte for being with Andrade. That's just stupid. That's just the dumbest shit in the world. She was slated to probably win the title at WrestleMania. Will it still happen? There's still some stuff with Asuka that's up in the air. Who knows? But the idea that Charlotte is going to be punished because of Andrade is dumb. The idea that Andrade was punished because of Zelina was dumb. Aleister Black is probably being punished because of Zelina because she went on there talking about unions and all that type of shit. And again, whenever the wife gets fired or she gets herself some heat, the husband feels like he's got to take up for her, and then he ends up getting heat on himself. Who knows? But ultimately, Andrade is going to be fine, So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for your time, and I'll talk to you guys later.